Hey, it's Dave Ward, and we are back talking about the Playbook. The Playbook is our roadmap for success with Team Beachbody. I'll just kind of show you the whole thing. It's 10 rules that I used as really the foundation of how to build a business here with Team Beachbody. I'm going to talk about the first rule today, which is be here a year from now. I just rattled the other ones off so you get a kind of an idea of what we're talking about. Number 2 is plug into the support system. Number 3 is personal development, something I believe is maybe the most important thing on this list, to be honest with you. Certainly the thing that moved the needle for me. Number 4, push, play, drink Shakeology, be a product of the product. Number 5, share your story. Number 6, make a list and use it. Number 7, expand your network. Number 8, be system dependent. Number 9, treat your business like a business. And number 10, get a success partner. Get somebody who can help you. So let's talk a little bit about be here a year from now. Team Beachbody started in March of 2007. That's when Team Beachbody was open for business. At that time, I had been working out with Beachbody's in-home fitness programs for about 4 years. Monica ordered Power 90 in 2003, and that was the first program. And as soon as P90X, and then I think there were a couple of others like Slim and Six and Turbo Jam and stuff that I really wasn't that into. And then when P90X came out, right, the juggernaut, the monster, I was absolutely addicted to that program, and as so were a lot of other people. And when Carl Deichler, our CEO, and John Congdon, our president, started Team Beachbody, Monica was one of the first people that they invited. At the time, I was in my 7th year of law practice. My law practice was jamming along. Things were going well. I was doing real estate development. I was working in Phoenix for the 8th largest law firm in the world. And I thought that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. That was my career. I had spent, 8 years getting ready to do that, going to undergrad and law school, and then another, 6 or 7 years kind of perfecting the craft, right? Figuring out what to do. And I thought things were really great. Monica started this little business. I was like, cool, it's Beachbody. I know those people. They're rad. And we can, really help people with this. That's great. But I'm going to go practice law. So good luck with all that. And I'll be over here if you need anything, which I thought was being supported. I wasn't a huge fan of it in the beginning, to be honest with you. I didn't really like the idea of a network marketing company. That was kind of a turnoff for me. And so I really was like, you do that, I'm going to do this. Funny thing happened a little over a year later. On September 15th of 2008, the world economy just collapsed. Lehman Brothers declared bankruptcy, and like I said, I was doing real estate development. There was no money for real estate development at that time. And there are a lot of ways you can conquer different challenges with real estate development. If you've got a funky little shaped parcel, you can hire some great engineers and architects, and you can design a building that fits. So you got drainage issues, hire some engineers. You have political issues, there are political solutions to political problems. The one thing that was an unfixable problem was money. The entire system works on borrowed money, and there wasn't any. The banks tightened up, and there wasn't any money, and I was facing being out of a job. So I started to I was already somewhat disenchanted with practicing law, really. I didn't really enjoy it. My grandfather was a lawyer, and it seemed like he really loved it, and I got there and really didn't. And I had been looking for some different things. For a while, I was thinking about becoming a teacher, and lo and behold, right underneath my nose in my very own house was Team Beachbody and Monica was doing really well. She was jamming along. She had built this thing, in a little over a year to like a really viable business. And I was like, okay, cool. We have this thing. Let me get involved. Let me help you build this business. I don't want to talk to people because I wasn't very good at that, and I don't want to sell anything to anybody. But maybe I can just be like a backbone for you. Give the business some structure. Create an email list for everybody. Maybe it's a newsletter. I can organize stuff. That's how my mind worked, right? And it didn't take very long before I was like, okay, actually, I really want to do this. And I started to coach people, and I started to engage with that side of the business, with actually helping people achieve their goals and live healthier and more fulfilling lives. And I'll never forget the first guy that I really, really helped. He was a student at West Virginia University. And I didn't feel like I had done a whole hell of a lot, to be completely transparent and honest with you. whatever. I mean, I answered his questions, and I had done P90X at that point, I don't know, 3 times maybe or something. So I had a really good grasp on the program. And I was learning more about nutrition. I was just going down my own fitness journey, down my own road. And really just teaching whatever I learned was what I was teaching. When I learned about how carbohydrates affect your body, I taught that. And he caught on to a lot of that stuff and then applied it. And he sent me this email that I actually printed it up. And it was like a 1.5-page email with his before and after pictures. Amazing transformation story about his life. And I'll never forget him thanking me for this journey, and then saying to me, for the first time ever, I'm going down to the river. They're going down the river for spring break. And I'm going to be able to take my shirt off. And I think I might actually get a girlfriend. And I just will never forget that moment, which I took that information, I printed that up, and I went and showed Monica, and I was so proud. And I remember her being kind of patient with me, and then saying, hey, look, if you find this to be rewarding, which you clearly do, just stick around, because this is what happens. I've got a bunch of these emails here because I've been helping people for a long time, because Monica was kind of a coach before there were coaches, before anybody got paid to be a coach anyway. And this is what it's going to look like for you if you keep going down this road, which instantly hooked me. I as a lawyer, I think I had this job that was, it was a very selfish job, to be just, honest about it. And I found coaching to be the antithesis of that, and coaching to just be something that was so about helping other people, But I had to come to that. I had to learn that. And so at that point, I really decided, okay, now that I am I'm more comfortable in the arena of coaching people. I've figured it out that I'm not a personal trainer, that's not what I do. And instead, what I am is like a facilitator. Monica likes to call it a pointer, right? Like, we point to things, and sometimes it was just about turning somebody on to a guy like Mark Sisson, who's a fitness and nutrition, mainly nutrition guy, and has a plan. It's a grain-free paleo sort of a plan that really worked for me. Again, it was like I just did the thing, and then I just said, hey, I did this thing, this worked for me, maybe it'll work for you. And then people started to do it, and they said, oh my gosh, that works for me. And then, since I was connecting them with those solutions, I was the person that they associated with their success. And I still kind of find that to be maybe not entirely fair, like you're getting credit for something. I didn't create P90X, I just did the program and then showed people how to do the program. Right, but it changed people's lives, and so I guess I do take some credit for being that facilitator, that connector, if you will. So at that point, I was sort of comfortable with, once people were in my network and I was coaching them, I was comfortable doing that. That took several months, though, to get to that point where I had that kind of internal confidence to be able to say to somebody, hey, I can help you with this thing. Like, if you want to do this thing called P90X, I can help you with that thing because I've done it, okay? The next thing was learning some of the basics about the business. I was like, okay, so I need to find more people, though, right? I've made a list, sat down with the memory jogger, and we'll talk about that in another one of these videos about how to use the memory jogger, how to make a list, how to use the list. But that list was running out, and I needed to learn how to find new people, and I needed to learn the system that we've really included here, okay? I needed to learn this Playbook system. I needed to learn how to find people, how to invite them in a way that worked, and there's other videos in this whole series where I talk about this, how to share our products and our business opportunity with them, and how to sponsor them as a customer, that if somebody says yes, that I'm not just going, oh great, make a sale, walk away, right? I'm actually sponsoring them as a customer, showing them if we're talking about on demand, I don't just cut people loose in the on-demand system. I either send them a video, there's a tutorial video that Beachbody has, that's fine. I like to get them on a Zoom call. I love Zoom because you can share your screen. So I'll just share my screen and say, okay, so you click here, this is how you log in. Here's the program that we've selected for you. Click on that, and I suggest that you help them select a program. If it's something like an all-access pack, there's so much stuff in there, it's so easy to get lost. It's kind of like the menu at the Cheesecake Factory. Like, do I want Italian or Chinese or, or American? Like, they have everything, right? So it's easy to get lost. You help connect them with the fitness solution, but then also, here's where it is in the library. Here's the calendar. Why don't you go ahead and print that up right now? And let's talk about that calendar. Here's the nutrition guide. Let me help you navigate the nutrition guide. Here's the workouts. Here's a tip. When you start a new workout, there's gonna be a waiver form that pops up. All you gotta do is scroll all the way to the bottom of it, then you can click agree. A lot of people get tripped up with that. Believe it or not, it may sound silly to you because you've used it, but you've got to really sponsor people. And the same thing as being a coach, it's about dialing people into this system and the trainings that you're watching, just like this one, where I teach people how to do what I learned how to do. That took time. When I started this business and really got in as a coach, my official start date is January 23rd of 2007. It's 10 years. But I really started at the end of 2008 after the whole real estate market collapse. I had to learn a lot. I came into this even as, a lawyer, a guy with a professional graduate degree and, a fair amount of experience in that world. I came into this with very, very little skills to allow me to be successful. The greatest skill I had was I had done P90X a few times. That was the big skill that I had, was that I had done P90X. And I had had my own fitness journey. That was it. I didn't have sales experience. I didn't have any marketing experience. I didn't have a Facebook account. I started my Facebook account on Thanksgiving of 2008 because I recognized, I guess I got to get online. So how did I go from a point where I didn't even have a Facebook account in 2008 to somebody that has over 45,000 people who like the Facebook page now? It's really simple. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time, and it's a matter of building skills. I didn't have any of that when I started. So I shouldn't have an expectation that my business was just going to skyrocket right away. That's not how this works. We have a saying here at the Fit Club Network, and our motto really is learn, practice, succeed, teach. Learn new skills. That's number one. Then you got to practice those things for a while, And if the skills you're practicing are good, solid business practices, the stuff like we have here on this playbook, those 10 things, practice those for a while, master them, then you're gonna have some success. That's the point where you get to do what really grows your business here, which is teach. That's the last thing, is to teach people how to do it. You can't teach people how to do something that you haven't done. And in order to do it, you have to learn the new skills. So give yourself the time to do that. Every now and then, I'll sponsor a new coach, and they'll tell me something like, I'm gonna give this 3 months, or maybe even 6 months. I have to be honest with those people, and I usually tell them, look, if that's what your commitment is to this thing, and you think that in 3 or 6 months, you're gonna be making thousands and thousands of dollars every week on Thursday when we check our paycheck, probably not gonna happen, okay? Maybe you're some unique person, and you've got all these skills that I've been talking about that I didn't have when I got signed up as a coach. More likely, you're just like I was. You really are new to this thing. Maybe you've got some background with some of our fitness programs. That's a huge step up. It's one way to look at it. You've been preparing to be a coach for a while now, if you're new. Maybe it's just been the last 60 days, 90 days. But you've been preparing to be a coach for a while because you're gonna have to coach people through these fitness programs. But learning how to do everything that we do, taking those new skills, learning them, ingraining them, practicing them over and over again, running challenge groups, making sales, doing all these things, helping people connect to fitness solutions, it's gonna take some time before you're at the point where you've learned something new, you've practiced for a while, you've had some success, now you're gonna teach, which is really where your team is gonna grow, is that teaching process. So just give yourself the time that you need. Be here a year from now. It's a real commitment that if you make, and you during that year, if you've been here for more than a year and you're sort of like, I've been here for a year from now, but you haven't been committed to the learning process and the practicing process and having some success process, and you're not teaching anybody, you can't really expect that to have a business that's really gonna grow, okay? So be here a year from now, but really commit to the process as well. Commit to these 10 things and their mastery. That's exactly what I did when we started this business. Again, I came into this with absolutely no skills that would enable me to be great at this. I had to learn. Those 10 things are what I did. I made a list. I used the list. I was system dependent. I followed that sharing cycle, finding new people, inviting them, sharing with them, and then sponsoring them. Or they sorted themselves out and said no. Okay, great. I'll go find somebody new. But it takes time. It takes time. Give yourself the time. Dig in with the playbook. Master these skills. I'm telling you, stick around as long as I have, you're going to have a lot of success. All right, that's it for today. Rule number 1, be here a year from now.